Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Good afternoon, folks. We're going to start this one off. Round of applause to everyone halfway through the work week.
We did it!
Way to go, guys.
And
halfway to Friday.
Today is September 3rd, which is the eve of one of the most important holidays here in Jacksonville, 904 Day.
Oh,
yeah.
True. I didn't even realize that.
Tomorrow is 904 Day.
Wow.
We'll celebrate
yes.
accordingly tomorrow. I'll just bust out my, 904 tattoo.
Yeah, got to.
Got to.
Well, that's why I took the day off tomorrow.
Right.
For 904 Day.
You have to celebrate 904 Day.
Yeah.
You got to get out and get in those streets.
In the streets.
In those streets. We got a dry air street kind of lining up, don't we?
We do.
What a day. Feeling good. I was just checking out the dew points out of the airport right now. It's 86. Our last report was 86 with a 59-degree dew point. So we getting those 50s at dew points. That's pretty nice.
Especially for early September.
Yeah, I'll take it. And you can see kind of the strong delineation, though, right where, the dry air is and some of that more
humid air further to the south.
A little further to the south. So, if you're in Putnam, St. Johns County, you might be saying, what do you mean? But, yeah, definitely over Jacksonville. Now, we've been saying today we're going to stay below 90, and so far we have. I mean, we had an 87 I saw with 86 at 59. I mean, certainly could, have the potential to warm up maybe a degree or two. But with that,
not a whole lot more.
But
maybe.
Not much more. I mean, I think we're there.
Probably at our peak heating of the day. Also, not as windy.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, our winds are starting to relax a little bit. You get on the sand, you probably feel a little bit of a breeze, still dealing with those rip currents, and we're thinking about that. But surf is beginning to kind of subside, somewhat as well. We were noticing that on, yesterday we were talking about 6 and 7 foot waves and at the buoys at least, and this morning we were seeing them at 4. So that's doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
Still have some of our alerts to think about, though, with our high tides.
Yeah, we do. Coastal flood advisory still in effect for the same areas that they have been, pretty much for the St. Johns River Basin, for Clay, St. Johns, Putnam, Flagler counties, and, of course, the intercoastal, pretty much from Ponte Vedra southward. So during times of high tide, you could see, the water anywhere from about 1.5 to 2 feet above normal. But that coastal flood advisory, I believe, runs until Friday morning, right, Lou?
Yep.
So we have about another day and a half or so, for that coastal flood advisory. So just keep that in mind. We're talking about minor flooding in some areas.
Yeah, the things you notice, like, oh man, okay, that part of the river looks a little bit higher than what I'm used to. That's the type of thing that you notice with that. You use the term nuisance if it were to come up in yards and things like that. I don't know if you were quite there, but if you're streaming along and you happen to be in one of those areas, I would love to kind of hear your feedback, because I haven't seen any damage reports or anything like that associated with any coastal flooding. I know looking at the Volano Beach cameras yesterday, and then the Marineland camera, I mean, the water level's pretty high. Right around high tide was when we were watching. This was at 5 yesterday. It was right around high tide at those beaches. And, that water was up almost to the dune line. And then you're seeing in that Volano Beach parking lot, there was some ponding as well. So those little things, the things we think about, on days like today, which are, generally beautiful, like just a very pleasant day.
81 for your folks up there in St. Simons.
St. Simons, that's something,
Typically, it's one of the hottest, most humid spots.
Sure is. So we'll take it, and still dealing with Palatka with that daggum lightning strike at their measuring site.
Their sensors still down.
Let's get it.
Need to get that fixed.
I'd have to just go over to Walmart and pick up something for them, Maybe
Should we volunteer?
Go analog. I'll call them if I need to. Just I don't know what they need exactly.
You just got that brand new truck. I thought you and I could maybe take a drive down to Putnam County.
They'd love it. Love it down there.
Drop that baby into 4-wheel drive, rev it up a little bit.
Make some noise.
Them big tires.
Big tires. Woo, Ross loves them big tires. I got to get bigger tires on my truck. Just to have the look. We're not talking protector. Just the personal machine.
Well, what would you call yours, though? Because, of course, we have our station branded the Protector.
Right. Well, it's a Tacoma, so I'd call it the Taco. Everybody's like, you got to call it the Taco.
The Taco.
The Taco. I don't know. I'll leave it to my kids. They can name her. But Overnights, we're still dealing with, really pleasant. We're still getting those more comfortable lows down into the 60s.
We hit 68. I think this morning, right?
Yeah, 68, great. And it's still Waycross, southeast Georgia. When you were getting in those low mid 60s, take it. You know what I mean? And then there you see kind of that delineation of where the kind of that more humid air is, and of course where it's a little more humid, you don't get that sharp drop off in our morning lows. Again, you kind of grasping here. It is still early September, and we are going to enjoy this for another day, but we do have to flip the script and get back to our summer ways.
Yeah. If you're out at the beaches, you're like, what dry air are you talking about?
Correct.
What real cool mornings? It's still pretty warm and muggy out here. Whereas, you go a couple miles inland, you get that dry air filtering down in.
Yep.
Feeling much nicer.
Yeah, all morning long, lows at the beach 75, 74, 75.
Yep.
So all morning. So that, just kind of feeling typical out there. And, we were, that stat about that you had put together, we were talking about how many 90-degree days we've had this summer. I think we got to 101 at least. I know at one point,
Yes, 101 or 102.
Okay.
And we're going to start to tack a few more of those on here.
Yeah. But we kind of broke that a little bit. Now if Thursday's high holds at 89, that'd be 8 straight days of temps below 90. So that's good. That's a winning streak around these parts this time of year. And you wish you could kind of hold on to that for what we've got all coming up this weekend. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case.
Wish the Jags had a winning streak like that.
That would be nice. 8 in a row. Now we get to 8-0. We're getting ready. What,
now
in San
you're talking
Francisco?
about some Philly quality ball.
Right.
8-0, baby.
8-0. Jeez.
Where they play San Francisco week 8?
No. Where's the Super Bowl? Is Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, right?
Yep.
So
Levi Stadium.
Go ahead and get ready. Just go ahead and start thinking about that.
Book your tickets.
At 8,
book the hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Jags, Super Bowl.
Who really is the kings of the AFC? Who else is going to win it? The Bills? Okay.
They always choke.
What?
Lamar Jackson.
Come on.
Always chokes.
Well, and then I think that, now that Travis Kelce is gone, he's
going to be a married man. He doesn't care about football anymore.
That's gone. I don't know.
He's got a superstar wife.
Yeah.
Or soon-to-be wife.
And Brittany Mahomes was just in Nashville with Tay celebrating her 30th birthday. So
you keep up on all of the news. Wow.
She was, yeah. Well, that's how we roll on Good Morning Jacksonville.
Huh. Okay.
All the entertainment news. I had to hear about that all morning from Jasmine. But yeah, so maybe Brittany doesn't have Patrick's head on right.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I try to bring in my football knowledge with you, and you bring in
the pop culture,
entertainment news.
Clearly, I'm that guy.
Yeah, I didn't expect that from you, but I'm here for
it. So winning streaks, 8 straight. If we get 89 tomorrow, that's probably where it ends. With our winning streak of days below 90.
Yeah, after that.
And after that, we think about, the weekend ahead, and we're all working for it. We got Friday Night Lights. I think that's an improvement from what we've had the last couple of weeks, it seems like. And even our rain chances over the weekend seem, kind of tempered just a bit as we kind of go ahead with our future casting and sort of what that the future cast. If you can kind of, you've seen it enough, but if you haven't, that's what it interpolated what radar could look like any specific hour. So just kind of keep that in mind as we show you that. And obviously, when it's showing a little bit of green, the potential for rain will be there Thursday, but those chances are pretty isolated at best, I'd say.
Yeah, I only went 10-20% tomorrow. Similar story on Friday, too.
Yep.
I'm thinking most of us stay dry here the next 2 days. But as Lou alluded to and mentioned, it's going to be hot. More than likely breaking the streak back to the low 90s by Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind leading up to Friday Night Lights and football out there this Friday night. Probably going to be the most humid and the warmest day for football that we've seen here since the start of the season.
Yep. So St. Augustine Bowls, that'll be our game of the week. 7 o'clock kick. Storm's over by kick. If there, whatever does pop by the time we're even into warm-ups and getting going, will be good. But it will be, on the warmer side of things in the lower 80s and humid as we're getting and ready to go. I've just been eyeballing Ware County coming to Bartram.
Excited for that one.
Very excited.
Yeah.
That might be worth a drive over. I'm usually at Creekside, but.
Do you know where Effingham County is?
Effingham County is close to Savannah.
Okay.
I'm going to have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure Effingham is right up there, one county northwest of Chatham, which is Savannah. So that's a little probably.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay because it's definitely out of the area. So listen, I'll know my viewing area counties and a few scattered about Georgia. Georgia has so many counties.
A lot.
It's like every town is a county basically. Effingham County, Georgia is Rankin, so that's right there. But yeah, I was right. Boom.
So by Savannah.
Yeah, it's right by Savannah,
Okay.
and that's one I should know because being born in Savannah, I gotta know my Chatham to Effingham to Liberty to Bryan and all that stuff. So yes, we've got it. Yeah, Effingham. They're coming down from Savannah, or Savannah adjacent. Saturday. So humidity telling the story. We're back to those higher heat index values with that trend for the triple digits through our weekend.
Yeah. Now, of course, this isn't like the July heat that we've had, right? That we were talking heat advisory or excessive heat warning level. But because it has been so cool, right? The last couple of days, mid-upper 80s, even this past weekend,
Yep.
Was overcast, breezy, cooler, rainy,
Yep.
all of those things. Perhaps you're not as acclimated or accustomed to the heat. You got a little bit of a break of it. You let your guard down a little bit.
Sure.
So keep it in mind all weekend long, not only for the NFL, we're going to talk about that.
Yep.
But also for some of the college games that are going on, around, I won't say the first coast, but Florida,
Georgia, our big fan bases, Well, and the other thing about like Saturday, Sunday, when you think about, certainly we're kind of getting happy with the 80s, but so 91 or 92 heat index, that 102, 103 range. It's less so about we're not used to it and more so about a lot of people are going to be out in it for an extended period of time. You know what I mean? It's one of those get out weekends, and because we've had some rainy weekends, I know a lot of folks are going to kind of want to break the seal on doing some beach weekend or football, which we'll talk about. But it does have that tendency. If you're going to be spending an extended period of time, used to it or not, you got to just factor that in. It's going to be a little more uncomfortable. But some games. Go back one more time. Sorry, Ross. No, it's cool. I wanted to peruse the menu, so to speak. I want to see what the chef specials are here from Chef Ross. What in the world is that in Tallahassee? I should know, probably. It's a lion.
I forget
God, I'm
what
going
it
to get
is.
the Google machine.
Now, I know who Georgia is playing.
Okay.
That's Austin Peay.
Oh, good. Okay.
And then, of course, USF and Florida, which will probably be a pretty competitive game. I think I think Florida will win, but USF did get a couple votes for the top 25 this past week.
Okay. It is a Texas A&M coming to Tallahassee.
East Texas.
But it's East Texas A&M.
Yep.
That'll be. So, hey, much respect. Anything can happen on the football field, play hard. But Tally, those boys at FSU just put them on Alabama. So, hey, we'll see what happens.
That was one of the logos where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this.
Okay.
Like one of those, some of the smaller schools, it's like,
what do we have here?
It's going to be interesting if I can find their
no
logo.
Disrespect to anybody. Fine place to matriculate, I'm sure. I got to get a town on East Texas A&M real quick. We are Googling up a storm.
I did wonder where that's at.
And East Texas A&M is in Commerce, Texas.
I have heard of that.
Enrollment of 12,000 students.
Oh, okay. It's not that small, really.
No, third largest institution in the Texas A&M University system. So there are several of those. All right, so there you go.
Are they almost like a branch of Texas A&M?
Must be.
Cool.
They are a Division I school, so the Southland Conference. There you go. Now we've learned. Now we know our competition in Tallahassee. Get a little win, and then that USF.
Are you a dog over there? Jeez.
I am. My headphones I wear at my desk have that black padding on them, and they're so old that that stuff gets in my ear, and I worry I'm going to freak people out because there's those like black flakes, and I get self-conscious about it.
Okay.
I'm like, God, what's coming out of that dude's ears? It's from my headphones. Gainesville's going to be hot. 415, 93, muggy, swampy.
Was afraid you didn't take your next guard or something this week or this month.
My flea and tick preventative?
Sorry.
You got it. Yeah, well, I stay up to date on my shots.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Because
we have to work in close quarters. I want you to know I am always up to date on the requirements. Ahead to the weekend. And we've been talking about it, hot, maybe some late day thunder Sunday. You might hear a couple rumbles of thunder. Not overly, married to it, but certainly possible. Just with it being so hot and humid.
And I was trying to depict it. There's going to be a cold front dropping across the northern part of the country, right? So significantly cooler and drier air for folks from, Wichita to St. Louis to Chicago to Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati even. Once this drops a little bit further south, it's going to start to weaken, slow down, stall out. Mm-hmm. So I do think Sunday afternoon, could Jacksonville perhaps see some rain? Yes, but I think more than likely western and northern locations probably have a little bit of a better chance, Lou.
Sure.
Southeast Georgia, I would look for a better chance to see some showers, perhaps some thunderstorms. The further south and southeast you go, overall I'm thinking lower rain chances there for Sunday afternoon.
Cool.
Just based off of kind of where that front's more than likely going to set up.
Yep. So really, story of Sunday, since we got Jags-Panthers, and it's home opener, first game of the season. You're going to be tailgating, whether you're tailgating or not. Frankly, just mix in a water. We're gonna talk about this for the remainder of our work week here, and just remind everybody it's got those first day in the bank vibes, and we've year after year we continuously report after these games. JFRD gets in touch with us on the number of people they've had to treat for heat-related issues, and it's sometimes in that low 100s number over there at the bank. So don't get caught off guard by the heat. And Ross mentioned it. We've had these days of pleasant, breezy, comfortable, low humidity days. So don't let your guard down. This is still game one in the bank, and that is a tradition almost unlike any other around here. Except those September Sunday afternoons, those 1 o'clock kicks are brutal. So please don't let your guard down. Drink plenty of water. Find your shade as you can, as we enjoy going to 1-0.
And hopefully, Jags, continue their streak.
Hopefully.
Assuredly.
Most assuredly.
Yes.
See what the Panthers have. I'll be interested. But interested in what, Trevor puts together. Get the Travis Hunter work going. So let's transition into a time of tropics, shall we? Let's track the tropics, and because I know it's hot on everybody's mind. We do have a big area that we need to be watching, a massive area of potential development, frankly, from the National Hurricane Center over the next 7 days. We do have that 80% chance of development, so pretty confident that we are going to get something out of this.
And like you said, a pretty wide berth of an area.
Correct. Yeah, this is not one of those tight blobs, so to speak. This is a pretty big area where the potential for development occurs. What would be better for us is, and when I mention us, wherever you're watching from, I mean first coast of Florida, southeast Georgia. Generally speaking, quicker development equals a more likelihood of a quicker northern turn, right? So that's kind of what we want to watch in modeling. How fast does this thing develop? Does it fizzle a little bit and re-strengthen? Does it kind of hold its ground as a tropical depression and a weak storm as it approaches the Lesser Antilles? Then you watch for the more southern western track. But it's something we've got to keep our eye on here over the next 7 to 10 days, as there is your good image of a disorganized, but trying to get its act together in more conducive environment, tropical wave.
And if we did happen to get something, next name up on the list, Gabrielle.
All right.
Timing-wise, it does look like, at least by the weekend, let's say.
Yeah.
We could probably have at least a tropical depression.
Yep.
Beyond that, could we see a tropical storm by the upcoming weekend? I think it's possible. Is it definitely going to happen? Not necessarily, but I think the ingredients are pretty conducive for it. This is looking at the sea surface temperatures, right? So where that cluster of disorganized showers and thunderstorms were at, it's moving into an area where sea surface temperatures are at least 80 degrees or higher. The contours on there are water temperatures or sea surface temperatures at or above 80 degrees. So the further west this thing treks, it's going to move into a much more conducive environment, especially when you're talking just about the heat and energy available to it to grow and strengthen, especially vertically. I didn't really toss in, this is going to show the deep water energy and the ocean heat content.
Yep.
It's kind of a similar story. I didn't toss in the Saharan dust or really the dry air, because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but by the time you get to this point in the season,
Yep.
I feel like that even if that is in place, it's not going to matter that much. The water's so warm.
That's what we watch early season.
Yeah,
you really watch it early season, and it did play an impact in our early season for sure. But you watch what you want to watch for over the whole Atlantic Basin is the trend of sinking air in general. So obviously, hurricane does not like sinking air. It wants more uplift to breathe, to get its act together. And we do have a trend of, lately having, that's what a high pressure does. You get that sinking air. It kind of fights it a little bit. Also steering, but we'll watch, maybe that it kind of slows development, and why it kind of meanders and lingers as a depression and or storm. So I'm, less interested in in necessarily the Saharan air layer, and more interested in is that sinking air present. But you get more uplift in that Atlantic Basin, and that has kind of been the trend, at least longer range modeling, 7 to 10 days out. So we need to kind of watch, or even beyond 7 to 10 days, I should say, kind of watch for that with future
kind of
waves off Africa.
Mid to back half of September.
Yep, and that's kind of the climatological movement. But with this modeling,
which is the European.
Yep. So this would be a Lesser Antilles. If you look at the wind barbs and kind of that dent in the orange to lighter orange south of the Bermuda High, Lesser Antilles, that would be where your low would be. Bermuda High retrograding a little bit further east is our friend, with steering, but it will allow a little bit further strengthening from that point on if it's not torn up in Hispaniola, San Juan, or Puerto Rico, and then the mountains of Hispaniola. So then it kind of becomes a Plinko game. And anytime these storms interact with Hispaniola and those mountain ranges, you got to stay on guard. You got to stay. You kind of watch what does that do to any center of circulation if one has developed by then.
And then of course you got the fronts coming down as well.
Yep.
If it were happen to regain its strength and continue on. So this is just going to look at the model comparison. We show these a lot, right? American GFS, the European there in the yellow. You're looking for those circles, right? Mm-hmm. So this is next Monday. Mm-hmm. Fairly similar spot with regards to both of these. We played out Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep. Having trouble.
Yep.
Still having trouble running into bathwater now. And GFS with that, which makes sense, with a little bit further north, you're staying over the warm water, you're not interacting with the islands. And that would be a strengthening, quicker turning situation.
Turning north faster.
Turning north faster. Now, Euro, as we showed you in that previous one, if this were to hold and it's interacting with us, so watch that. Watch it together. Be meteorologists with us, and as we kind of look ahead through next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll watch and see if that land interaction is actually happening or not, and that could influence whether this is a more southern western track or more northern term. So a lot to happen and a lot to watch. And we are here. I love finding that map at the mall.
Yeah.
Where am I? Where is the Dick's Sporting Goods? And okay, it's over to the right. So there we are, and up there at the peak is peak hurricane season, September 10th. But just because we get beyond the peak, don't let your guard down then either, because so many of our storms really do occur between late August and into October, the end of September.
We had Helene and Milton both after the peak
Correct.
of hurricane season last year. So
have to know what was a fairly quiet start to a hurricane season last year and then really ramped up. But There's your 7-day forecast, Ross. Appreciate it. Appreciate you streaming there with us. We'll be back on at 5 o'clock on the First Coast News side of things. You'll see Ross at 7.